Prep is all about manipulating stress, because as your recovery capacity starts to get lower, if you start trying to do more and more and more exercises like most people want to do, they're like, oh, I got to get shredded, I got to do more exercise. You end up digging yourself into a hole that you can't get out of, and then it makes it that much harder to make manipulations and changes, and it'll fuck up how you look on stage. Like there's a cascade effect. When your recovery capacity is its highest, that's when you want your volume the highest and get the most out of it. And then as things progress and that recovery capacity goes lower, you start to take away, but what you never take away is intensity. Intensity is what got us the muscle. It's what's gonna help us keep the muscle while we're doing this. I'm not building muscle right now. I'm trying to keep what I already have and just make it look really fucking crazy on stage. What's up, guys? Welcome back. Episode 2 of the prep series. We got legs today. It's been a minute since I've done a leg day video. Gonna be pretty short and intense. We've only got 4 exercises. We got leg extensions, banded leg press, single leg curls, and walking lunges. So it doesn't sound like much, but we're gonna show you how to make that as hard as possible. Kind of go over the warm up, the exercise execution, the intensity, all that kind of stuff that we need to make this prep successful and come together at the end of the day. So follow along. Like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, and someone you don't like, I don't know, I don't care, just tell them. But let's get started. What I'm doing right now, I'm stretching. And usually you hear people say you shouldn't stretch before you work out. But after speaking to a number of different people and learning some different things, that research is kind of messed up. It's not super accurate. So a big issue with any training is being able to access a range of motion. If I can't access a range of motion because something is tight, then I'm kind of screwed, right? So now I'm limited in what I can do in a certain exercise. So what I'm doing right now is trying to get my hip flexors, my psoas, all that stuff to relax so that I can get my glutes to work better, right? Now, I wouldn't want to stretch my hamstring and then go immediately into a max RDL or something like that. But what I'm doing now is I'm creating access to that range of motion, and then we're going to incorporate that range of motion into the warm-up. So I can get into it, and now I can use it. I'm able to get more out of my body because I've incorporated these stability exercises. I don't have any hip and knee pain anymore. I don't have issues with full range of motion. I don't have any problems anymore because I've incorporated these things and do them regularly all the time. We've unlocked the hips. We've gotten that range, gotten that to relax a little bit. Now I want to strengthen and activate the other side, get my hips firing. So I'm gonna do a single leg glute bridge first. So all I'm gonna do is put this leg out in front of me, drive through the heel that's on the floor, and squeeze my butt cheeks. Through consistent effort over and over, I now have to do less warm up. So I don't have to spend as much time over here rolling on a foam roller and stretching this, and I get in, do the quick warm up, go through the full routine, and get straight to it, so I don't have to sit here and fuck around forever like I'm doing right now, just laying on the floor. My femur is fixed. We want it to sit still. And now I want to create flexion extension at the hip, but also internal and external rotation. So I'm gonna do a single leg RDL into a hip airplane. So first, what I like to do, I've got my minimalist shoes on. So these shoes barely have anything between me and the floor. So I'm really able to make solid contact with my feet. I have really shitty feet, and it takes a long time to get your feet strengthened. So I like to start with just kind of stabilizing here. So I lift this leg up off the floor and just try to stabilize on that left leg first. Once I feel like I've gotten good contact with that foot and it's ready to do its job, I'm going to hinge. I'm gonna rotate in and then rotate out. Trying to keep that foot stable and then back up. The best way to tell if my foot is pronating or supinating too much, it's my big toe and my pinky toe. I'm trying to keep contact with both those two toes. The big toe comes off, I'm rolling out. The pinky toe comes off, I'm rolling in. And then we go into the RDL. can also do these by holding on to something. It's like a squat rack or a pole, having it here, and just kind of using it to stabilize yourself. I've been trying not to rely on one. We're now going to start to activate the glute and the quad as we go to get ready for the exercise. So I'm just going to do a couple of split squats here on both sides, trying to keep a little bit of internal rotation in this hip, meaning I'm trying to bring it in towards that front toe so that as I get into that hip extended position, I'm in a more stable position for those stabilizer muscles at the hip. My sessions don't have squats in them because I was having a lot of issues with my hips, not controlling my pelvis in the movements, which was leading to adductor issues, hamstring issues, and knee pain. Once the prep season is done, we'll be able to add some squats back in now that we've gotten more control there. Sit on split squats. I'm gonna go to walking lunges to finish out, and then we're gonna get started with quad extensions. As things have gone along, this session has changed a lot. 3 weeks ago, I started having pain behind my knee, like right in the tendon. So we had to move some stuff around. This session originally started with seated leg curls, but that hip flex knee extended position was like the main culprit for causing the issues. So adapting to these things, because we're not gonna stop training just because of a little bit of pain, we've shuffled some stuff around. So I have the quad extensions to start off with. Gets the knee nice and warm. This is a very high stimulus exercise with low fatigue. So like I'm just extending my knee. There's not load on my spine. It's not, even if you go super heavy, it's not that taxing. It's just a crazy pump and you can really stimulate the quad. Then we go to an exercise that's high fatigue, high stimulus, which is the banded leg press. Enough of that warm up shit. Now it's time to get into the sets. We got 2 sets of 12 to 20. There's a few ways you can go about it. First set, go balls out, try to fail around 12, then reduce the weight and go for the higher rep. What I do on both is I pick a weight that I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to get to 20, and I get it to 20. So 245 for 20 and 16 last time. So I'm going to keep the same weight, try to get 20 on both sets, or at least beat that 16 on the second set. Leg extensions aren't like scary. The pump that you get for them is ridiculous, especially when we're pushing into reps like 20. It's ridiculous. Damn it. Oh. The bands just make it harder at the top, easier at the bottom. You're stronger at the top, you're weaker at the bottom. That's just strength profile. I don't usually use the hundreds, but the guy that was on it before me was. So right now, this is 7 plates plus 10 on each side. I did 7 plates and a quarter for 15 last session, so I'm gonna stick with just adding 25, so it's basically 10, 20 pounds above what I did last time with the hundreds on there. Back offset and take a little bit higher than I did last time because we pulled it back from 3 sets to 2 sets. Going back to what I said at the beginning, recovery capacity is down, so fatigue needs to come down as well. So 3 sets of this, I'm struggling. 2 sets, I'm still gonna be struggling because I'm gonna make it as hard as I can, but it won't be so taxing on my system that I'm like that I dig myself into a ditch that we can't get out of.
I'll go.
Oh yeah.
God damn. Oh. Kind of the overarching theme of this video so far has been talking about getting more out of less. So for a lot of people, when they come to me and look at a training plan, they're like, 4 exercises, 3 exercises. What is this? I'm barely gonna be in the gym, I'm gonna fly through this. Yeah, because you're applying bullshit mentality. If I give you 1 exercise and you come at it with the right mentality, you can make that fucking exercise the hardest thing you've ever done in your entire life. That's the mentality. That's what's gonna build you muscle. Don't think about it needing to come in here and be a superhero that's here for 16 hours a day. There's a limit to what we can do here. So learn how to make 1 rep, 1 set, 1 exercise as hard as possible. Start with 1 rep, then make it a full set, then make it a full exercise, then make it a full program. Just you have to expand from the micro to the macro, from the smallest to the biggest. Every bit of detail matters. There's always going to be genetic freaks that can come in here and do whatever they want. For the people like myself that aren't necessarily genetically gifted to build muscle and be bigger, I have to be on top of everything in order to be even where I am. If you're genetically gifted, congratulations, you can still work harder. If you're not genetically gifted, you're gonna learn more because you have to work harder if this is really what you want. So the 15 per leg. At this point, these are a lot of conditioning work. So my heart rate is high, sucking wind, but it's just stimulating more fat loss. Plus, it's good to be really good at gait cycles, so being able to take that hip through its full range of motion and continue moving forward. Walking lunges are a solid exercise that you should have in your program to teach hip function. Plus they make you look like a bitch. Woo. Solid leg day. I think pulling back on the overall volume was really good. I was able to keep intensity a lot higher this time, pushing really close to that 0 RIR or failure range. 7 weeks and 3 days, so Saturday will be 7 weeks out. So I've got like 7 or 8 leg days left to the first show, which is the Lee Labrada Classic. Then we got 3 weeks, and then the Johnnie Jackson, and then I'm done. I really want to say thank you to anybody who watches this. I'm putting a lot into this stuff, so I really appreciate everybody's support. Please subscribe, like, and share this with your friends. It would really mean a lot to me. Please leave comments if you have suggestions or feedback so that I can get better, constructive, hopefully. Don't just be an asshole for the sake of being an asshole. Labrada Pro Series, Bagley 10 for off all your supplements. I'll see you guys next episode.